Traders, we're going to do more swinging than your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man because it's time for the weekly forecast. Welcome to Simply Forex. If you want to improve as a trader, then you're definitely in the right place. Each week, I'm going to give you easy to follow trade ideas, tips, and advice so you too can succeed at trading. And if you stay till the end of the vid, I'm also going to give you all of my swing trades for this week. If that sounds like a plan, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button, guys. Thank you very much. Guys, I've got so much to show you today. It's all going off, right? And we are going to start with the indices, right? Because everything's linked to the indices and the performance of the economy, right? So it makes sense to start with the indices. And at the start of the week, it was, will this level hold, right? This is the weekly chart, guys. Like I say, we're doing swing trades. So we're going to look at the higher time frames. Now, we are in a weekly range, okay? And then last week, we had this, 2 weeks ago, we had this huge bullish weekly candle. And we were thinking, was that the catalyst to break this level? And in the words of Gandalf, you shall not pass, right? We've had a big rejection candle at that level. So that would suggest we're going to come down to the bottom of the range, right? If we look at the S&P as well, right? Again, got to this level. We find ourselves in a bit of a range as well. Okay, maybe higher lows here. But again, gets to this level, bang. Big bearish candle, Gandalf, you shall not pass. All right, big sell-off on the indices. Even the Dow Jones. All right, so this has reached those highs, and then we've having a big sell-off on the indices. So, will this mean that we just find ourselves, if we go back to the NASDAQ, could we just find ourselves in this situation for a while, right? Where price just ranges between here and here until we get a clear direction one way or the other. And until we get that clear direction, that's really when I would be interested in the indices. However, you could trade it as a range. Like I said, we've got a big bearish candle here. You could come to the bottom of the range, back down to this 20,800 level. All right. Now, if you think of this big sell-off at all-time highs, we must point out as well, these are all-time highs, then this would mean the flight to safety currency pairs become strong, right? If the indices start dropping, yen, Swiss franc, even the US dollar to a certain extent will become strong. Okay, so that's going to be our next port of call. We're going to look at the yen pairs. Now, indices selling off, we're seeing yen strength in the market. I mean, if you look at any yen pair, right, you can see we're in this downtrend on the weekly chart, okay, and we had yen strength last week, right? And there's no coincidence that coincides with the sell-off on the indices, right? However, okay, if you look at pretty much any yen pair, right, they are all inside candles. So this candle is completely inside the previous week's candle, right? Completely. Now, that doesn't give us much information. I know last week's is a bearish candle, but the fact that it is within this bullish candle just says to me that there's not a clear direction, right? So what I would want to see is a break either side of that previous candle. If we start breaking the lows, right, yen's strength continues. However, we would be literally at support here and there would be no trade. Or if it breaks this way, it could be yen weakness, right? But you look at any yen pair. Let's have a look at euro yen. There you go. Inside candle, guys, right? Previous week's candle, right? Last week's candle. Complete inside candles. We also have to consider, right, yen pairs, a lot of them are at very good weekly support levels, right? And do we want to sell into those? You know, the answer is no. You should also be yelling no at the screen, right? Maybe not yell, but you know what I mean, right? So yen pairs, we have seen that yen strength, but it hasn't, you know, manifested into trades. Again, here's another one, guys, right? Swiss franc yen, look at all that yen selling. You know, we're clearly in this downward trend, but we are at a key support level. Now, if those indices carry on dropping, we could see a break of these lows, right? A big bearish candle, break these lows, and then we could have a continuation of this yen strength. But as in trades for next week, yen pairs, for this reason, we have inside candles and or we are at key support levels. I'm just not interested in yen pairs. Okay, let's just have a look at one more example. Euro yen. We looked at euro yen. Let's have a look at New Zealand yen. Again, an inside candle, right? We are inside this candle with this candle. This potentially looks like a good sell trade because it has a bit more room to the downside, right? But again, it's an inside candle. I'm going to wait for a break either side of that previous candle before I make a decision. All right, so yeah, yen pairs for those reasons is a bit of a stay away from me. But don't worry, guys, stay tuned because I still have lots of trade ideas for you for next week. And let's take a look at US dollar pairs as well. These are all at really interesting levels, right? Now, if we, again, I'm just pick any, let's start at the top, right? Pick any US dollar pair, okay? And last week, okay, we was all taking advantage of US dollar weakness, right? I even remember talking about it in last week's weekly forecast, right? It was in this downtrend. These lows were holding. And then we got these super bullish candles. The problem with these super bullish candles, as with Aussie dollar, US dollar, it was leading us straight into resistance. Okay, and this is a wonderful resistance level, right? We've got the moving average 20 coming down. We've got this, what was once support becomes resistance. We're at a key psychological level, this 0.64, right? And we've got a bit of a sell-off, right? Look at that candle. We've got a bit of a sell-off at that level. That would suggest we could come lower, right? So are we about to see some US dollar strength come back into the market? Like I say, guys, pick anyone, euro, US dollar, right? We are at, again, we're looking at weekly charts, guys, because these are swing trades, right? And if we just take a look at this, we are at a resistance level, moving average 20s coming down. Could we find ourselves in a range, right? We got these, weekly sellers taking price down to here. Then you also have these weekly buyers at these lows, right? Could we find this sort of indecision carries on a little bit and we start to range with the US dollar? One thing I do know is that I don't want to buy euro US dollar into that level. Okay. Let's have a look at another one. Let's have a look at pound US dollar. Right now, this is an interesting one. Okay, because with pound US dollar, we have clearly broken weekly structure. We're now getting higher lows, higher highs. And this was actually a trade idea on Friday. But now, right, we've got this moving average 20 coming round. If we look at the day chart, right, not a massive sell-off, okay, right, but if we look at the weekly, yeah, there is a bit of reaction at the moving average 20. Now, I still think potentially pound US dollar out of all the US dollar pairs does have a bit more room to move into. And this because of this fact and this pound strength potentially, we do have a couple of trades that we're going to look at that are pound strength. But again, because of all of the US dollar pairs telling me that there are key levels of resistance or support, I'm not going to trade pound US dollar. I have some other pound pairs. And then a big one, guys, for US dollar is obviously gold. Now, I know lots of you love to trade gold. So if we look at gold, okay, then it's holding, right? We had this big weekly wick, right? That's clearly a sell-off, right? And bullish candle, right? There's no getting away from that. But that high held. Right? It never broke that high. And you can clearly see this on the day chart. Right? And of course, there is indecision at this level. There's 3 days of indecision here. Right? We're clearly in this uptrend. We find ourselves in a little bit of a range. And buyers and sellers don't know what to do. Buyers are like, can we keep going? And then sellers are like, is this a good place to sell? And then you've got this, 3 days of dojis. Okay. Now, I won't be touching gold for that reason, and US dollar pairs in general, right? For those reasons. So, yen pairs and US dollar pairs are a bit off the table for next week in terms of swing trades. But gold, right, if we get a big bearish candle, I think we can come to the bottom of this range. Let me drag this across, right? And if we break this level, I think gold has more room to the upside. But let the market tell you. Don't predict the future, right? Let a big candle one way or the other tell you, and then that will be the catalyst for you to trade gold. All right, so like I say, guys, yen pairs off the table, US dollar pairs off the table a bit in terms of swing trades. But don't worry, we have got some trade ideas. Before I show you the trade ideas, if I could please ask everyone to subscribe to the channel right now, smash that notification button, and please smash the like button. Smash it like you're in a Greek restaurant smashing plates. Apologies for my analogies. And also, guys, please don't forget to join our trading community, right? It is beautiful and growing, okay? So come join it. You can talk to like-minded traders, share knowledge, ideas, have a chit-chat, whatever you like, guys. So please come join our free Discord channel. Also, please check out our website, www.simply-forex.com. Because we have so much premium trading education on there. We've got the VIP Discord, we've got the Simply Forex Complete Trading Course, and we've got the mentorship program where I coach you one-on-one. If you're interested in any of those things, we are giving you 25% off right now until the end of February. So go check it out. Right, trade ideas. Let's start with that pound strength that I was speaking about, because like I said, out of all of the US dollar pairs, I potentially like pound US dollar, but I prefer it against other pairs. So if we go to the weekly chart and let's take a look at pound Aussie dollar. Now, I was in this trade Friday and took some profit, but I still like it, right? If we look at the weekly chart, just going to follow structure. Right, this is where we're at. Okay, so I am aware of the fact we are getting lower highs, right? We are, but this support level in here is holding. Okay, we're also at the moving average 20, so we know this is really nice support. And if you have really nice support, okay, as in, okay, that's kind of a bad joke, but if you've got really nice support, you're going to get really nice reactions at those levels, right? So as you can see, we're getting some bullish reaction at that level, and all I want to do is take it back up to these last highs and this 2000 big psychological level. Don't want to go any higher because we are seeing these lower highs. What also gives me the confidence to buy this is if you look at the monthly chart, guys, right? Look at that monthly chart, okay? It's broken these highs, big bullish candle, bullish wick. You know, potentially we could come back up to these highs, but again, because we're getting those lower highs on the weekly, I'm just aiming for this 2000 level. Okay, so yeah, pound Aussie dollar buys and also pound Canadian dollar buys. We basically saw a lot of pound strength, and we saw a lot of Canadian dollar weakness in the market because oil has been plummeting like a meteorite that took out dinosaurs. Did dinosaurs exist? I think so. There's loads of proof. Right, pound Canadian dollar. This is what we're going to do with this. Now, right, we was in this range, okay, and I thought this range was going to be completed, right, because of this big bearish candle, right? But instead, we have had a bullish reaction followed by a very bullish reaction. So we're now getting higher lows. We're above the moving average 20, nice big bullish candle. I think we can take price back up to this 1.8100. Okay, so pound Canadian dollar, we're looking for buys up to there. Remember, guys, these are all swing trades. We're looking at weekly charts, even monthly. So let's carry on with this Canadian dollar weakness now. And my next trade idea is New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. Now again, right, what a difference a couple of weeks makes, right? Because if we look at this chart here, right, we are firmly in a downtrend. Okay, we're getting, you know, lower highs, lower lows. We had this nice big bearish candle. Everything was suggesting sells, like the pound Canadian dollar, right? But now all of a sudden we're getting higher lows and we're getting bullish, super bullish. Okay, so the idea is just to take price back up to these highs in here at 0.8213. Okay, so yeah, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar buys as well. Okay, let's have a look at another Canadian dollar pair. We're also going to look at Swiss franc pairs in general. So actually, let's look at oil first, right? Because we need to understand why we're seeing a lot of Canadian dollar weakness. Obviously, there's lots of things going on, you know, geopolitically, but oil is correlated with the Canadian dollar. If oil is weak, the Canadian dollar is weak, right? They are positively correlated. And you can see with oil, guys, right, we're actually going to start with the monthly chart. You can see we are in this monthly downtrend stroke range, okay, getting lower highs, yeah, lower lows, but we're ranging between here and here, and all we're going to do is complete the range and take price back down to this 68 level, right, with oil. If we look at the weekly chart as well, it was all about this level through here, right? You can see this was a really important level. And once it broke it with this candle, right, what was once good support, when it breaks, became good resistance. And just look at these weekly candles, right? Lots of selling pressure there, guys, right? And because of all that, we're just trying to take price back down to this 68 level. All right, so oil sells is also a trade idea for us today. Just look at for this week, sorry. Just look at those candles, super duper bearish, right? And we got room to move into before we hit a piece of support. So that's, you know, a big catalyst for the Canadian dollar weakness as well, but we like oil sells. And then this leads me on to Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, and Swiss franc pairs in general. Shout out to Ravi. Ravi was looking at this trade as well. Now, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, like with other Swiss franc pairs, which I'm going to show you, we find ourselves in this range. Okay, we're clearly ranging between here and here. All right, and we've had a big bearish reaction at these last highs, right? And just look at these candles, bearish, bearish. You know, potentially we have all the room to come back down to these last lows. But if we take a quick look at the day chart now, right, at the very least, we're coming down to this level, right? We've broken structure on the day chart. We're now getting lower highs, lower lows, right? And I would like to see a retrace back to this level, and then we can start selling down to here. Definitely take some profit in here. If not, let some profit run. And you've got to bear in mind, guys, if those, Swiss franc is a flight to safety pair, and we were looking at the indices, and that big sell-off on the indices at all-time highs. If that sell-off continues, then Swiss franc strength of flight to safety should continue. And another Swiss franc pair I just wanted to look at quickly was pound Swiss franc, because this too is in a range, right? This has been ranging since the Second World War, right? But yeah, we're in this range, right? Can pound Swiss franc complete this range? All right. Now, obviously, I prefer Canadian dollar Swiss franc sells because I like pound Canadian dollar buys, right? But I just wanted to show you another example of a Swiss franc pair that's in this range. Right, there's one more trade idea that I'm looking at, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, smash the like button, check out our free Discord channel, and go check out the website for premium trading education. The last one, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, the slowest moving currency on the face of the planet. And again, weekly chart, these are swing trades. We just look at the weekly chart, right? It sort of became a little bit choppy, but this level, right, has held, right? Because of these two wicks. And they have obviously bounced off of these highs here as well, but it's actually held the top of this range that we find ourselves. And, bearish wick, just look at that candle. That is, you don't get much more bearish than that. And all we'd be looking to do is come down to the bottom of this range with these lows here, if not all the way back down to these last lows in here as well. All right, so Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar sells. And that, I'm just checking, that concludes all of our trades, all of our swing trades for this week. And guys, if you've enjoyed the analysis, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Come join us for the live streams throughout the week. Have a great trading week, and I'll see you soon.